What happened to Ilia Topuria last Sunday was such a tragedy, especially to all the Ilia Topuria fans. I'm one of them, by the way, and I can't tell you how it was hard to watch the way he lost to Justin Gaethje. It was basically the contrary, the opposite. He faced the karma on what he wished to Justin Gaethje. He said that he will knock him out just in the first round. He needed only one round to finish him. But then that favor was turned through him by Justin Gaethje. And it was so disappointing, especially if you're Ilia Topura's fan. But there are things that people don't see in order to explain why such a thing happens to Ilia Topuria. Because to be honest, it's not something which is obvious. Seeing how this guy is so good and he's so skillful. By the way, and even though he lost, and God knows that we are all humans and we make mistakes and we can all fail, but I still do think Ilia Topuria is better than Justin Gaethje. And I know that it might sound like I'm taking something away of Justin's accomplishment. No, I think he really won against Ilia Topuria, but then I just think he's more skillful. And the way he managed to win Ilia Topuria was because of his IQ. But then talent wise, I do think Ilia Topuria is the best. And I'm gonna explain you why those particular skills that he has to knock out people hasn't functioned with Justin Gaethje. And to do so, I'm gonna go through, go back all the rounds, round by round, to explain and so that you understand like all my reasoning and maybe where it started to fall apart, and in order to understand why he wasn't able to do what he usually does. During the first round, to be honest, was really close. I mean, Justin was the one who started with jabs that were really bothering Justin. I mean, bothering Ilia Topuria. And it's not the first time Ilia started bleeding in the first round. Volkanovski and Max Holloway succeeded to do so as well. But then in the it was if Ilia Topuria didn't respect, because of course we could see how Ilia Topuria wasn't respecting any attempts of Justin just because he thought he was so powerful at such an extent that nothing big could happen initiated by Justin Gagey. And then it's just that in the first round, he uh, he is the round where he began to throw those body shots, and it was really affecting Justin Gagey, and I could see that. But then he hadn't found enough time so that he can maybe um, concentrate more on those body shots and throw more. He hadn't found enough time because it was almost the end of the first round. But it was in the second round that we could see all the effects of the bad effects those body shots had on Justin Gagey. He let himself going to the ground, and there is a that's where the big mistake started with Ilia. He had the opportunity to finish at that time Justin Gagey once and for all, but then he did several mistakes. What were they? The first mistake that he did is that he had the opportunity of throwing elbows, and you know that when you throw elbows, it's really hard. It most of the time, people's face start bleeding, and then if it was not for elbows, he could throw many punches. There was no way Justin Gagey could move himself out of that position. And he started to, instead of that, he wanted to find a way to submit Justin Gagey, by which he didn't succeed. And thanks of this was real good work from Justin Gagey. We could see that he really prepared well, and it wasn't a success for Ilia. But then the thing that shocked me the most is that Ilia Topuria's cardio started to be messed up in that moment. He really was so gassed out, and I mean, for such an elite like that, it kind of surprised me. I was so surprised, and that shows the reason why he gassed. If you want to understand the reason his cardio, um, he lost his cardio really quickly in earlier rounds, is because I saw a podcast when he was talking with Joe Rogan. In the Joe Rogan podcast, in the breakfast, I mean, not what I mean, Joe Rogan podcast, yes. uh, Joe Rogan asked him a question in order to understand how Ilya does when it comes to training in order to attend a fight. And then Ilia Topuria responded by saying that he doesn't train for MMA. He make like he do boxing and grappling separately. And I think that's might be a big reason why his cardio wasn't that good, because it's not planned, it doesn't correspond well with the way a fighter can manage his cardio in the MMA. Because when you train for a particular sport, let's say you want to concentrate on boxing or grappling only, you're so specialized. But then with MMA, you have to mix all of this. And we know how Ilia Topuria really like boxing a lot. He really like boxing, and yeah, he found himself trapped with his own game, because that's MMA. It's not only about boxing. It's not only about grappling. And when he tried to finish Justin Gaethje in the second round, he brought all his combinations, and this takes a lot of gas out of you. And it was a big mistake not to, especially the way he prepared himself for that fight, because that requires a lot of cardio. I believe that if he prepared well for his cardio, it won't be he won't be fatigued as he was. He won't be tired as he was. I think he will go for more rounds, maybe starting to fatigue, maybe at the fifth round. But yeah, he was just gassed out. And the second mistake I saw, but then it was because of Justin Gage's work and skills. Justin Gage is known for damaging most of his opponents, and most of people who fought Justin, we all see how their fists were all damaged uh, because it was swollen, and yes, they had a lot of cuts, but not for Max Holloway. Um, yeah, and then the same curse happened to Ilia Topuria. And I was so shocked because Ilia Topuria knows how to dip his head a lot. Just go back and watch his fight against I keep forgetting names, but he know how to do it. He's a really special when it comes to boxing. So I was kind of surprised that Justin Gaethje was able to easily jab on his face. And then it came to a point where Justin succeeded to crack Ilia Topuria and almost knocked him down. And uh, yeah, it's when you he received so much damage that his face was swollen, like he uh, his whole face was covered with blood, and both of his eyes, especially his left or right eye, was really swelling, and that's why he wasn't able to um, uh, e- excavate or basically read enough Justin Gage so that he might find a way to not receive all those jabs because his eyes were swollen because of Justin Gage. Justin Gage was succeeded to um, damage Ilias Topura's face so badly that he couldn't see. He couldn't see. That's why during the after the end of the fourth round, the doctor didn't allow him to finish that last round because he was so damaged. And those were the two main mistakes Ilia I found on Ilia. I think he didn't. He was so surprised to see how Justin Gagey was of a big deal. Um, I think he neglected Justin Gagey's power, and yeah, and he faced the consequences. But that doesn't mean that he's washed or he's not that great. I think he will come back stronger and he'll demolish a lot of guys. I think the way Justin Gagey fought Paddy Pimblett, Ilia Topuria can do uh, even worse. I still do think he can beat at least Arman Sarukian. I do think he can beat him, but we'll see what's next for him. Don't forget to subscribe and like and put on the comments things where you agree or you disagree. I'll be really interested and see you next time.